Hey everybody, my name is Christopher Kelly. I'm managing producer for entertainment for NJ.com. I am joined today by our food dude, Pete Genovese, to talk about the best bakeries in New Jersey. Pete has just gone on an odyssey through cannoli, cupcake, and bread, and he's going to tell us where, just in time for the holidays, you can get your best pastries. Pete, how are you doing today?
Oh, wait a minute. You caught me in the middle of, a donut here. Wait. Wait. I'll put it down.
Pete, come on, Pete. Get with the program here. Is that cream filled? Is that a jelly? What is that? What are we looking at?
Gets my vote for probably best donut of the year. It's this, you see the chocolate shavings and red and green sprinkles. It's actually a brioche, not a donut, but it's from the Montclair Bread Company. It's still good. I think I could eat it right now. So.
Pete, how many? So you've been doing this for the last week or so. I mean, do you have an estimate of how many calories you've consumed? How many donuts, pastries?
I could feel. I need to run like right after this chat is over. I think because I've been running since last week. I could feel the poundage and the sugar. I think the sugar is coursed through my veins, so I think I'm rid of the sugar. How I didn't go into like sugar shock or something, but yeah, it was a serious 40 bakeries, 5 days, all over the state. But I love donuts. I mean, it was.
Well, let's talk a little bit about this process, because I think this is something that a lot of people probably find very interesting. How do you go about choosing the best bakeries in a very large state like New Jersey? Where do you begin?
Well, I mean, I had the foundation. As I mentioned in the story today, I've been to probably at least 75, maybe close to 100 bakeries just in the last few years, because I love donuts, I love pies, cakes, whatever. So I had that sort of background already, and then so this field trip last week were mostly pretty much all places that I've never been to. These came in recommendations, so we got on Facebook, Twitter, NJ.com when we had the original call to entries, email. I mean, we got probably about 2,000, I think, responses altogether. So people were really into it. It really surprised me. And I picked the most. We couldn't visit all the bakeries obviously in 5 days. So I had to winnow down ones that sounded most promising. But again, a lot of this was drawing on my past experience. It wasn't just the results of this field trip last year.
So when you step into a new bakery that you haven't been to before, what do you do? What do you order? Do you ask what's best on the menu? Do you have a go-to pastry by which you test every bakery? How do you dig in?
Well, for this project, I depended on reader recommendations. They said this place is known for like Rispoli's in Ridgefield, which makes the absolute best. It's this pastry called sfogliatelle. It's a lobster tail, which you can find at any Italian pastry shop. It is. I can't imagine anyone, certainly in New Jersey, maybe on Earth, doing it better than they do. So you go to Rispoli's for that specifically. So, and again, readers were telling me, you go here, you try this, you go here, you try that. I mean, if I myself go to a bakery for the first time, if I'm not working, just enjoying, I mean, I love just a good, good jelly donut, a good plain sugar donut, chocolate. There's always got to be chocolate somewhere, just a chocolate glaze on it. Sticky buns, which are like a South Jersey thing. You don't find them much in North Jersey. So it's different. I'm sort of all over the map. I mean, I don't want to go too crazy with the fruit toppings and all that. Just give me a good basic glazed sugar, cream filled, jelly filled donut. As far as donuts.
Are you judging just on taste when you enter the bakeries? Are there other factors you're looking at? Atmosphere, service, things like that?
For this, no. For this, it really comes just to taste. I mean, some places, some of the, there's a place, Antoinette Boulangerie in Red Bag. It's a very cute shop. Hardwood floors. They have sort of these old-time French posters on the walls. It's really nice space. So that maybe has somewhat to do. It really comes down to the quality of the product. There are a lot of great sort of atmosphere old-time bakeries, but maybe their bread or their donuts aren't so good, so they're not going to make the list. So this list, just same with the mall food, same what we did for tacos. Really just the quality of the food. The atmosphere is really way in the background.
So let's dig into the list a little bit. Give us your number one.
What's that?
Give us your number one.
Well, I didn't rank them, which I know we usually rank them, but it was so hard because we could compare. I listed them in alphabetical order. It was so difficult. A lot of these places, how do you compare an old-time donut shop with a sort of new wavy modern pastry shop, French Viennese pastry shop. So I put them in alphabetical order. If you twisted my arm, maybe I could do that. But I tried this last night. I was on this all day yesterday, trying to who would be number one if they were number one. I really couldn't come up with one because there again the shops on the list are you have the old time neighborhood bakeries, you have the French pastry shops, Viennese. There's a South American bakery. There's a Middle Eastern bakery. And they're all the best at what they do. So I didn't want to sort of put one on the pedestal and everybody else was sort of there. They're 20 favorites, and I could have added another 20 easily. This is a really tough list to make.
So break it down for me. What if I'm headed to a big family gathering on Christmas Eve and I want to get a nice big box of traditional Italian pastries? Which bakeries on your list am I going to stop at?
Well, I would go again. We mentioned Rispoli in Ridgefield, right by the right on Route 1, up near the George Washington Bridge. If you're up in North Jersey, there's on the list. Yeah, that would be probably my number one Italian pastry shop. Del Ponte's down. If you're down the shore, down in Bradley Beach would be good, although they weren't on the list. Natale's for all around. A lot of Italian, a lot of other kind of pastry. Natale's,
sure.
Summit. A great, again, going back to Italian, a place that really does it differently than anyone else. Just the quality ingredients and sort of the eclectic selection of Italian pastries. Palazzone, 1960 in Wayne, right almost across from Willowbrook Mall. So we're 23, 46, and 80 come together, so it's really easy to get to. So those would be some of my places, some of my recommended places.
What about pastries? You hear pastries, you hear bakeries, you think tradition. But as you mentioned, there are places that are doing new things, inventive things, putting new spins on old things. Were there surprises you encountered, things that really kind of woke your taste buds up along the way?
There was probably one place. There was one place where everything was just great. I mean, and maybe, again, if we were ranking them, they would be certainly near the top. And this was a place called Baker Street in Flemington. Mm-hmm. It's right across. There's a very well-known outlet center called Liberty Village, so it's right across the highway. And actually, which is funny, so we got way more recommendations for a place called Factory Fuel, which is actually part in with the outlets. It's a new place, and you got to go there. So I tried both places, and there was no comparison. We only got a few recommendations for Baker's Treat, but I thought way superior. Their chocolate ganache. I just happen to have the sample. Mocha Decadence. Look at this. Oh, and you see, I only took a little bite out of it, so this is still good. I mean, I might actually have this later. But this is pure.
Put that on eBay.
It's all chocolate. No good mocha undertones. It's just pure freaking chocolate. It's just so good. So this was something I hadn't seen really any other place, even some of the high-end places. So I like the bakeries that are doing. Again, it's so hard to compare because your corner bakery would not make something like this, obviously. Your neighborhood bakery that's been around for 80 years is not going to make this. They don't have the time or the customers. The customers want the basic stuff. So places like this, I mean, Antoine Boulangerie in Red Bank and Flaky Tart in Atlantic Highlands. I've loved Flaky Tart for a long time. They do all these sort of, the emphasis there is quality over quantity. You're not going to go into these places and find the selection that you get at your neighborhood bakery. They're just not, and that's why I see a lot of the comments we've gotten so far. People are recommending a lot of these places that have like 300 different items. Well, that's great, and that serves that's a great place to go for your family. You want to bring something to your family, pick a little bit of everything, a couple dozen, you please everybody. But there's a place in the world, certainly for these high-end places where things are more expensive, but quality ingredients.
Sure. Let's talk a little bit more about some of the reaction you've gotten already to the story. Pastries are something that people are passionate about. How does it compare to some of the other things you've written about? Are people as passionate about pastries as they are about pizza or tacos? We
found that out. Like I said, I was really surprised. I didn't think we'd get. Like I said, we got over probably 2,000 just on NJ.com's Facebook page. Over 1,500 responses on my 2 Facebook pages, another, a lot more. I got a ton of emails. The original call to entries, it really surprised me. We probably altogether, I think we might have gotten more reaction than even pizza when we put the Pizza Power rankings.
Sure.
From the different sources, basically. It wasn't just people reacting to the Pizza Power rankings. This was people they knew we were on a search for the best, and they said, you got to go here, you got to go here, you got to go there, and recommending literally.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think? What is it about pastry that kind of brings out that passion in people?
I mean, who doesn't like a good pastry or donut? I mean, unless you're on some serious diet where that's not allowed. I mean, it's irresistible. People can resist pizza, maybe, even though we're sort of in the center of the pizza universe. Maybe they think that the nutritional thing, although pastries are certainly no nutritional bargain either. There's something, I think, because pastries, again, we're talking about a range of baked goods. It's not just one slice of pizza, pepperoni, sausage, whatever. You have the donuts, you have the pastries, cakes, pies. I mean, these are pretty much in everybody's life to one degree or another, I think. So this, it's a spectrum of products, and I think that's why the broad appeal, and that's why it's gotten so many comments and continues. I mean, I see the comments are popping up every second now.
Sure.
How could you forget this place or that place? You don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. So it's good.
What, how do you react when you go to a place that everybody's loved? That everybody says, "Oh, this is great, and you go in there and you bite into whatever the donut or the pastry, and you just hate it.
Well, again, if I express this online, you just have to. And I've been doing this all morning with the comments. I mean, people they've mentioned a couple of bakeries. How could you possibly forget this place? I just don't think they're as good. And I'll just say it, and we'll have hopefully a friendly disagreement. But I think the difference with me, I mean, I've been to a lot of places. I mean, I've sort of based my last 15 years with just drive around New Jersey, not just for stories, but for eating. And so I think I have more background experience with a lot of these different places. The pizzerias, the taco places, the burger places, the bakeries. So not saying my opinion's any better, but I think it's more grounded. It's a little bit more comprehensive. So I can compare, your favorite bakery. I can go in there. If I don't like it, I could say, well, I don't like it, but this place is a place 10 miles away that's better, I think. So it's why it's something. It's not just because I find a lot of the comments, a fair number of the comments, these are bakeries that people had been going to all their lives.
Sure.
What they know, and and that's fine. But all I can say is, okay, that's good. I've been to your place, but how about trying this place just down the road? I think you'll like it better.
Sure.
So trying to. So yeah, it's no one's right in all this. There's no right or wrong. You love your favorite place, I love mine, but these are my 20 best, and try them out.
On a whole, taken kind of as a broad, looking broadly at all the bakeries and all the shops you visited, is there a pastry or a kind of bread or a kind of cake that you think New Jersey does better than anywhere else?
I wouldn't say no. I wouldn't say that. Again, sticky buns. Now, I love sticky buns, but you can't find them in North Jersey at all. And a lot of times, a bakery will advertise a sticky bun, but it's not really a sticky bun. For people who don't know, sticky bun, it's this sort of thick. I wish I had some more here. I could show you. But it's a thick caramel top with either raisins or walnuts or nuts on top. And it's thick, dense. It's like just one bite adds like 5 pounds to your waistline. It's just so. But I can eat there's a place. Fortunately, the best one I think in the state is in Brigantine, outside of Atlantic City. So if I'm down there, I stop there. So that's a South Jersey thing. Is the point to answer your question? There are, but I think otherwise. I mean, there's tea biscuits again, a South Jersey thing. You don't find them really in North Jersey. They're not quite scones. Some people.
Sure.
Just call them the same thing, but they're really not. But I don't think there's a, I think these pastries and my top picks. I did a separate list on the top 25 baked items. I think you can pretty much find them, all over the state.
Sure.
Yeah.
So and then I wanted to ask you a little bit about some of those items on your list of individual items that you came across, and a few leaped out at me. Blueberry pie is very traditional. And the kind of thing where you hear it and you go, oh, I'm not going to order that. But you had, because it's boring, but you had one ranked very high on your list, place in Inglewood.
That was Mr. Todd's. Well, the difference with him, and he also made my top 20 bakery list. The difference with him was, of course, you have to go in summertime when blueberries are in season. He made them from Maine. Nothing against Jersey blueberries, which we make a lot of blueberries, but he made fresh Maine blueberries, it came when I tried it. It was kind of just out of the oven. It was warm, and the blueberries just were bursting with flavor. So that's why it's and you're not going to find that pie at your local supermarket, certainly. Maybe not even at your local corner bakery, because they're not going to they're not going to go to Maine for their blueberries. It costs more. And that Mr. Todd's, the place we're talking about, and that pie's going to cost more because he's getting the blueberries got to come down from Maine. There's another place, a farm stand, Emery's, which also made my list. They're in South Jersey. They're known for their fruit pies. So, and again, you can taste the difference. Is all I can say between them and a lot of other bakeries, because again, they grow their own fruit. So, and it's right there. The fruit goes right from the field right into their pies.
Sure. So you also have on your best individual items list Italian bread from Antique Bakery in Hoboken, and I read that and I thought, oh come on, Italian bread's Italian bread, right?
No, it isn't, because I tried. I'm a bread guy. I could eat bread, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I mean, I could eat bread for a solid week and nothing else. I really could do that. I think I'll do that as a dare. Bread and a cup of Wawa coffee, and I could do bread. So I was trying bread at pretty much every place. And there's a difference, between crust. I mean, you can taste the difference in flour, crust. When it's crunchy, too crunchy.
So what about this one in particular was the standout?
Again, the crunchy, the sort of we talked before about atmosphere. Atmosphere played a little part in this place, because this place is so old school. It's like stepping back into a time warp, back into the 40s. It's a very fluorescent lit, dimly lit little store with only not really a lot of bread for sale. I think they had a few cookies, but it was really just bread. I just love the name, Antique Bakery. There's a photo of it online. So atmosphere played a little part there, but they just had really just good, solid, and cheap bread. Hoboken is sort of known for, it's a higher, everything's going to cost you, but it was really a reasonably priced bread. And the other place, Nicolo's in Montclair, which made my bread list as an honorable mention, they're really known more for a deli. They don't really have a lot of different breads or donuts or pastries, but their bread is just really, really good. So again, it's that crunchy. You just know good bread when you taste it.
Sure.
And a lot of it is just, like I said, you can taste the difference in flour, just whether it's sort of that spongy, which is more of a clean taste. I mean, you know good bread when you taste it.
Sure. So I want to wrap it up, but was there one thing, and you don't have to name names, but was there one thing on this Odyssey that you just spit out and thought was just god-awful?
I'm sure there was. I'm trying to remember. I don't want to spit out because I was in my car a lot of times. Also, I went into the shop, took it out to my car, took photos. I took photos when I was in the shop, trying to be inconspicuous as possible. But then actually did the sampling in my car, so I'm not going to spit out anything in my nice car. But there were things, just cream donuts where the cream tasted like it was last week. Donuts that were just borderline stale. When you do things, these big food projects, you're going to find a lot of mediocre food because there's a lot of mediocre food out there.
Sure.
Even pizza, the pizza, there's just a lot of average pizza out there. And the trick with all these things is really try to find the best. So I prefer not to dwell too much on the next.
We will not name names.
Bring back the bakery nightmares.
Well, Pete Genovese, our food dude, thank you. This has been a great talk about New Jersey's best bakeries. You can read Pete's stories on NJ.com. He's got a list of the 20 best bakeries and then the 25 best individual cakes, pies, cupcakes, and donuts that he encountered along the way. And Pete, beginning next year, we'll be back with a weekly Food Dude chat. And our first big project for the new year is going to be best bars. So you're gearing up for that for next year.
Yes, I am. I'm not drinking through the end of the year just to get ready for that. So yeah, that's best bars, and we're asking obviously for people recommendations and bars, all types of bars, all over the state.
Sure. All right, well, Pete, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Enjoy the rest of your spoils from your journeys, and don't gain too much weight.
Yeah, I think we're beyond that now. I'm running tomorrow, I swear.
Okay, all good. Take care, Pete.
See ya.